we are elevating our copper peptides called GHK-Cu. Now, if you were to Google GHK-Cu and their effect on stem cells, there is research upon research upon research upon research. You'll get tired of all the research as to how that copper peptide, GHK-Cu, is responsible for reactivating dormant stem cells. Now, hold that thought. I'll explain to you why that's important. And then we talk about activating. What are we activating? We are activating dormant stem cells. And why? Because we can regenerate the organs and tissues in our body. Yes, regenerate. Like the liver can regenerate itself, we are now helping all the other organs in the body regenerate. Skin is an organ, heart is an organ. All these things start to regenerate and we start to actually reverse our age. Incredible. So, what are we talking about today? We're talking about stem cell technology in the form of a wearable patch. There is nothing in this patch. It is not putting anything in your body. You could just as easily stick it on your clothes and it will do the same thing as if it was in contact with your skin. And this, people, is definitely a product that is way ahead of its time. So I'm going to play a video clip.
We all hope to age gracefully so we can enjoy our later years full of energy, vitality, and good health. But so often, with age, our bodies start to show signs that things just aren't as they used to be. Our energy, skin, healing and recovery time, sleep, it all just seems to go downhill. Unless you're using Lifewave. David Schmidt, our founder, creative force, and world-class inventor behind Lifewave technology, has recently achieved something in the field of regenerative science with a single Lifewave patch that researchers worldwide, spending years and billions of dollars, could not. Introducing Lifewave X39. The world's
Can't
first
hear you. Can anybody else hear me?
reactivate stem cells, a true breakthrough in regenerative science that helps restore our bodies to a healthier, more youthful state in a way no other product can. The secret? By harnessing the power of Lifewave's patented phototherapy, X39 uses light to elevate a peptide proven to signal the activation of stem cells. Think about it. These are the cells that generate and regenerate all the cells and structures of the human body. They're the building blocks for our organs, tissues, blood, and immune system. They also serve as an internal repair system everywhere. But as we age, stem cells become less effective. Their ability to repair damaged tissue is reduced. In fact, by age 60, they've slowed dramatically. But all that changes when just one Lifewave X39 patch is placed anywhere on the body each day. Instead of older and less effective stem cells, X39 supports the production of younger and healthier stem cells. This amazing level of control over your vitality and well-being was simply not possible, let alone this easy, until now. And the best part? Like all Lifewave patches, X39 is safe, non-invasive, and incredibly cost-effective. Look what people are saying about Lifewave X39. Backed by clinical studies, multiple patents, and 20 years of development, any one of these benefits would be impressive. But X39 is so effective, it can influence everything about your body, how you look, feel, perform, and heal. It's time you experience the power of X39.
Okay, so there we have it. How exciting. I love that video because it gives you a quick synopsis of everything. So I'm just going to try and get through this as quickly as possible because I understand that everyone's time is precious. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about Lifewave, the company, because after COVID, I think we all know that there's questions around different people developing different things that we are expected to put in our bodies. Okay, so I know that people may be asking questions. I can't see the comments now, but if I could ask you to maybe just hold them till the end, send me questions privately if you want or on the group. And then at the end of the presentation, if I haven't answered anything, I will 100% answer all those questions. If Rita.
I think Azim is trying to say that she can hear. I don't know whether it's a problem at her on her side. I don't know.
If everyone else can hear, then she'll have to just maybe reconnect, just log out and connect again, I think. Can everyone, you can hear Farida, right?
Yes, I can.
Okay. Azim, can you try and just reconnect for me? Okay. So we'll welcome her just now. Okay. All right. So as I was saying, people, Lifewave is a 20 1-year-old company this year. It was founded in the year 2004, and it is open in 87 countries. Unfortunately, for most of you, actually, there's some of you on the call from Canada and UK. But what I can tell you is that in our African countries, other than South Africa, Lifewave is not yet officially opened, but that is where we come in terms of helping you be able to get your patches, which you order from South Africa, and then they are sent to you whether you're in Tanzania, whether you're in Zambia, whether you're in Uganda, Ghana, wherever it may be. I'm trying to say 2 words at once, people. So quite incredible. Okay, it produces innovative and patented products. So this product is patented and cannot be replicated for the next 20 years. So we call it a not a me too product. So X39 was launched in 2019. And if all of you remember what happened in 2019, the world shut down and we had COVID. And as the world emerged from COVID in 2019, in the year 2021, the company Lifewave made $20 million in turnover. And in 2022, they made $320 million. And in 2023, $430 million. In 2024, $600 million. And this year are projected to do $1 billion in turnover. Now, why are the numbers important? I hear you asking. The numbers are important because it shows us that the company is here to stay, number one. And number two, it also shows us just how many people are getting amazing results from the X39 and continue to reorder. People like myself. So the growth rate of this company has been 3,000% in the last 5 years. It is the fastest company, direct sales company in the world. And I must address the direct sales company. We call it a multi-level marketing company. Why is it important? Guys, if I had seen this sleeve of patches on a pharmacy shelf in the hospital where I was, I wouldn't have bought it. Because even if it said, "We'll fix your husband," I really would not have looked at it because I had no idea. I had no one telling me exactly what it was, and it just looks like an envelope, and it seemed too good to be true. And that's why multi-level marketing companies in this instant are absolutely incredible. So we must remember that is very, very, very important. So Lifewave is the winner of the Bravo Growth Awards both in 2024 and 2025. Incredible that they've won it in 2 years. 2 years in a row. And I must tell you about the inventor and the CEO, David Schmidt. He is not a medical doctor. He is a scientific doctor. He specializes in research, and he knew that that's what he wanted to do from a very young age. Today, he holds 200 patents. Now, why is this important? Because anyone that's ever tried to register a patent knows that a patent can take forever to register at massive costs, because what you need to do is patent the size, patent what's in it, patent the material, patent what it does, patent what all of these things. It's not an easy process. So to hold 200 patents is absolutely incredible. He is, like I said, the scientist and inventor behind the Lifewave brand, and he is the 2-time recipient of the Advanced Technology Award from the International Hall of Fame. Now, that is quite a big thing. He holds honorary doctorates in science and technology, and he specializes not in anti-aging, but age reversing. And in 2008, David Schmidt realized that the key to anti-aging, or age reversing in this case, is through stem cell research. And he decided to dedicate his time to stem cell research in the year 2008. X39's patent took 10 years to be granted at a cost of $4.5 million. That was the investment to make sure that this patch came to market for people like you and I, and that it will not be a copycat product. Now, as I said earlier, patents are quite important, and a patent has to do what you say it does. So this information I'm about to read to you is what is in the patent registration. So has been proven beyond reasonable doubt that these patches do what they say it does. So I'm going to just put my glasses on. Embodiments as a result of elevating copper peptides, including the activation of stem cells, improvements in energy, elevation of antioxidants, Reduction in inflammation. Now, guys, inflammation is so important. We all have inflammation. We're all putting rubbish food into our bodies. We're all putting rubbish on our skins. We're not living healthy lifestyles. Many autoimmune diseases today. Those are all indicators and things that contribute to inflammation. Management of pain, improvement in stamina, elevation of collagen production. My hair, I was telling you about my hair. That's collagen, people. And I never cared about collagen. But until I realized that collagen is not just about my hair or my skin or my nails, it's also the body's most important protein. Improved wound healing is another special one. People who've had cuts within 1 week, the stitches have fallen out and there's no sign that there were ever stitches there. Absolutely incredible. And I'm talking about in my own circle. So amazing results. So why the X39 stem cell activation patch, I hear you ask, and that's quite an important question. Well, the fewer stem cells you have, guess what? The faster you age and the slower you heal. A teenager has about 1 billion active adult stem cells. By the age of 30, the number has dropped to 400 million, 60% reduction. And by the age of 60, the number has dropped to 100 million, meaning a 90% reduction. Now, I think we all know this because we start to see it. When you get into your late 40s, 50s, you start to feel an ache and a pain in the hip. You start to feel a pain in the knee when you climb upstairs. You start to now get blood pressure, you've got diabetes, you've got hypertension, you've got all sorts of things. All those things you thought would never come because they're in your genetics are now starting to show in your blood results. And the reason it shows up between the age of 40 and 60 is because those stem cells are very few and far between. So for me, if I can activate the stem cells and keep myself healthy, well, why not? So how does X39 work? Like I said, it is by activating that copper peptide, elevating that copper peptide, GHK-Cu, which is known as the holy grail of anti-aging. It is made of organic nanocrystals, and when I say nanocrystals, it's crystals made out of sugars and salts like you would have made in a lab sometime in your life. At school, formulated to activate that all-important copper peptide. You're going to get fed up of hearing it, GHK-Cu. Remember that one. And then it reactivates your own dormant stem cells. No drugs, no stimulants, no chemicals, nothing is entering your body. As I said earlier, you could just as easily stick this patch on your underpants, even on your bra, whatever it is, and it will do exactly the same thing as if it was in direct contact with your skin. And it's non-transdermal, so it's not like a nicotine patch or a hormone patch, putting nothing into your body. And it's non-invasive. So currently, as we speak, I'm trying to think how many patches I've got on today. I've got on 3 patches, and no one would need to know that unless I want them to know that. To be honest, at nighttime, I often have a patch on here, and if anyone comes to my house, they're going to see my collagen patch. But you know what? It is what it is. It's doing great things for me, so I'm not really perturbed. But other than that, no one will know that where I wear patches or how many I wear. The benefits of X39, love it, love it. Rapid pain relief. I have seen people, I have personally patched people who have intense pain, and that pain disappears in seconds. And that includes things like menstrual pain, knee pain, arthritic pain. And it's just incredible to see people have instant relief faster than you could have it from a painkiller tablet. And it's putting nothing in your body. Reduced inflammation, supports wound healing, as I said earlier, energy and vitality, mental clarity. Now, for most women my age, when you are menopausing, you have this brain fog that just sits in your head and you can't clear your mind and you are tired. And actually, since I started using the X39, I no longer have that. I am also no longer on menopause hormones. So absolutely incredible for me. Enhances sports performance. If you are a runner, if you are in the gym a lot, these patches are absolutely incredible for sports performance, for recovery from sports, for stamina, and actually for general performance. Faster recovery from exercise and improved skin appearance. So I love when I'm sitting with my peers, and I know It's one of these things. I never really cared much about my skin. I'm sitting with my peers and I can see that even though I'm in my 50th year, my skin looks a lot better. And I know that it's absolutely incredible to look and think, wow, I have photos of my mom at the same age and just think that my skin looks a lot better than hers did at that age. And I mean, if I'm using it for health benefits and this is a side effect, I'll take it. I'll take it any day of the week. And we also have people within our own Lifewave family who've had the same result, fine lines reduced, all of these things, but I'll get to that just now. There are many, many more benefits. So the X39 long-term results. These can also be found on thisisitinfo.com. You can get that website from anyone that invited you today. You can find the doctor's studies, you can find scientific double-blind studies, you can find doctors' panel discussions. You can even find the letter from the Olympics Committee and the US Anti-Doping Agency deeming these patches safe for competitive sports. So quite an interesting site to go to. What happens after you start using X39? Within the first few days, 4,000 genes begin to reset. Now, I personally had an experience of this. It was really incredible. We were released from hospital on the Friday. On the Saturday, I went to a talk in the area. It was 5 minutes down the road, and I thought, well, let me go and find out what I'm using because, I mean, I'm just using it. And I went to one of these talks, and as the lady said, 4,000 genes begin to reset. I put my hands to my face, and I realized that I could smell for the first time since 2021 when I lost my smell to COVID. So I had been without my smell for 3 years. 3 years, and within 3 days of using this patch, my smell had come back. And I actually just burst into tears because I had accepted that I'll never smell again. The doctors had told me there's nothing they can do, carry on smelling this, smelling that, training your brain, and it hadn't helped. So it was quite a wonderful feeling to know that I could smell again. Within 6 weeks, the brain becomes balanced, reducing symptoms of PTSD, anxiety, stress, depression. Wonderful patch. If you've had a hard day or you've had a trying day mentally and emotionally, stick the patch on the back of your neck, an Aeon patch on top of this, and the results are absolutely incredible. Or you can simply use the X39 through the day. But the Aeon is a wonderful, wonderful patch to add to this if you do have stress, anxiety, and PTSD. Within 3 months, your collagen is increased. Now, like I said earlier, collagen isn't just about hair, skin, nails, teeth. It's also the body's most important protein, and this level reduces as we age. Many of you will know that people were taking collagen supplements, but unfortunately with supplements, your body's got to be in the right state for it to absorb the supplements effectively, and also it's got to be a good quality. Here, what we're doing is reactivating your body's own collagen production, and that's what's amazing. Within 6 months, your heart reverses in age. There was a study done. 14 out of 15 people reversed their heart age by 8 months simply by using these patches. Absolutely incredible. It's not anti-aging, it's age reversing. And this is a quote from David Schmidt, the CEO and inventor of X39, and I agree with him. So how do we wear the X39? We simply take the patch, we peel off the back, we stick it on the back of our neck or 2 fingers under our belly button, and we leave it on for 12 hours during the day, and then we take it off in the evening, and we allow our body that 12 hours to repair and rejuvenate. If you leave it on for 13 or 14 hours, it's not a train smash. Even if you leave it on for 24 hours, you would just take a break so that your body doesn't get used to the stimulation. Drink plenty of good quality water. Drinking water doesn't mean chugging down a liter in one go. It means having a few sips every half an hour to keep your body hydrated, allowing these frequencies to circulate through the body. Because remember, this patch is all about light. So what this patch does, stuck on your body, it captures your body's own heat and light, which we all know we emit, and it reflects it back into the body so that you can elevate that copper peptide, GHK-Cu. That is how this patch works, and that's what's incredible. It is simply heat and light. Okay, along with a new patch, the next day you pull out a new patch and you can apply the patch onto the back of your neck. If you have the patch from the day before, it's a little bit of a tricky one. The patches, I always say that Lifewave will guarantee the 12 hours, but after that, the 16 to 24 hours they're talking about. I will wear glutathione and Aeon for a bit longer, but depending on how the patches have been stored, how they've been moved, we don't know exactly how many hours you get. What can be said is you'll definitely get 12 hours. So what I do is when I take my patch off, I put it on my dog. My dog has arthritis, and I put it on the collar and allow the dog to use whatever's left of that, whether it's 4 hours or 6 hours or 8 hours or 2 hours. Snowy gets to use the rest of that patch. So 90-day process. X39 works where your body needs it the most. Earlier, you'll recall that I told you put this on the back of your neck or 2 fingers under your belly button. You could put it anywhere. If you had a sore knee, you could simply take the X39 and stick it on your sore knee, just patch the pain, and it will go about doing what it needs to do. So David Schmidt advises us to use the patches for a minimum of 90 days before we make a decision. Every day, the X39 must be worn. And the reason he speaks about 90 days is I think even with any medical protocol, whether it be diabetes or whatever it is, when you put on a new medicine, they always talk about 90 days to figure out whether it's working for you. Even when you go for your HB1AC test for diabetes, it's always 90 days apart. So it's a standard 90-day protocol. Okay, and then he speaks about wearing it for 1 month for every decade of your life. So if you're 60, you would then add 6 months. If you're 100, you would add 10 months. I'm still wearing mine. It's been a year later, but that's a personal choice. I just love how I feel. And I love the fact I saw a photo of someone who'd been using it 4 years. And honestly, they look half their age after wearing it. So personal choice, but in terms of your health benefits, definitely a 90-day protocol and a month for every decade of your life. So, although we recommend those times, it doesn't mean we haven't seen results sooner. My smell came back in 3 days. My husband was out of hospital within 3 days of using the patches. Different people have different results. Pain is instantly. So, not to say that you won't have a result within a day or 7 days or a month or 2 months, but everybody's body is different. We must remember that what's going on in your body and what's going on in my body are very different. We could all have diabetes, but maybe you have hypertension with it, and maybe I have cholesterol, and maybe someone else has an autoimmune. So our bodies and the combinations of what's going into our body and what we've done to our bodies is very, very different. Remember that at the beginning of using patches, detoxes may occur. How does the detox manifest? Again, it's very hard to say. Everybody's body is different, but the common symptoms are a bit of a headache, people who are sick. So when I've had people with cancer using the patches, they feel very tired, which is different to the rest of us who normally feel very energetic. But that's because their body needs to rest. It's their body's way of saying, just take it easy, just rest, and then eventually they get back onto using it at daytime. So we listen to your body. There's some people who are reverse. They have to use X39 at night because it just makes them tired. So it just depends on your body, and listen to your body. So X39, according to David Schmidt, is his greatest achievement. Having a product that works this quickly and provides this many benefits seems like a miracle or too good to be true, like I said earlier. But it is simply applying the magic of stem cells to the human body. Now, people ask, where are the stem cells from? There are no stem cells. This patch simply uses your body's own heat and light to elevate that peptide, activate those stem cells, and regenerate every organ and tissue in the body. So this is a topographical map of a 77-year-old woman's brain. And you can see the first picture shows before any X39 was used, there was severe inflammation in the brain, as you can see with the reds, little stem cell activity and no brain coherence, basically. In session 2, which is 3 weeks on the X39, no more inflammation. You can see it's blues and greens and improved brain coherence. And in session 3, which is 6 weeks on the X39, complete turnaround. Improved stem cell activity, better brain coherence. Now, what I want to tell you now is that if you have anyone that is living with dementia, Alzheimer's, any of those, there's a wonderful testimony on the Telegram group, which I'll get to just now, where you can go and find stories about a lady who was quite had severe dementia, and then was later able to recognize her family, and you could just see that her demeanor was a lot calmer. So let's talk about inflammation reduction in the heart. I mentioned it earlier. Day one of patching, as you can see, a severe inflammation in the lower ventricles of the heart. After 2 months, that is reduced significantly. And at 5 months, almost completely gone. Inflammation reduction in the trapezius muscles, which I think we all struggle with because we're all on our phones all the time. And that also reduced in 30 minutes of wearing the X39. And the abdominis rectus, which is the stomach muscle, same story there. Now, this picture here I absolutely love. The first photo clearly shows the inflammation in the woman's hands. She has arthritis, and you can see that red inflammation between the thumb and the finger, and you can see that mark of 3229. And then the second photo, 30 minutes of simply holding the patch in her hand. It wasn't even patched. That is the result. And you can see that the percentage there has also gone down to 21.59. So over here we have images of a horse who was quite sick, and the coat improves. This is 4 months, and as you can see, the inflammation purple and white, very severe, reducing significantly within 4 months. And I love the animals because, with human beings, we can tell people, oh, this is going to make you feel better, and maybe the mind will say they feel better. But you can't do that with animals. Placebos do not exist in animals, and that's what's incredible, is to see animals actually recovering. Like I said earlier, I take my patches off and I put them on my old dog. So this here is Poplap. It's one of my favorite stories to tell. Whoever invited you today can send you the video of this wonderful dachshund who, as you can see, is paralyzed on the left, and then just simply wearing the patch 4 days was able to run around, even though the individual hind legs were not moving fantastically. She was still moving. So absolutely incredible video to watch. I'd be happy to send it if you, Farida and Salma, you please feel free to send it to anyone. It's such a lovely video. Okay, so here we have Dr. Stacy. She is a doctor. She has been using the patches now for over 4 years. She also does a lot of informative videos on the body and how it works and why this helps. And if you look at this lady from 2021 to 2024, what a difference in her skin, what a difference in the what do you call it? Firmness. Absolutely incredible result. And I love watching her for information on Lifewave. So over here we have a lady in Australia. She was using the patches. She used the patches for 2 years. If you had the first photo and the last photo, you would not believe that this was over a passage of time and not through some kind of surgery or intervention. So incredible to see the results from just using the X39. And over here we have an older lady who basically had severe pigmentation, discoloration in the skin, hooded eyelids. I mean, you couldn't even see her beautiful eyes, crow's feet. And look at the result after 1 year. Over here we have vitiligo. So vitiligo is also, where your skin loses pigmentation, often related to stress as well. And as you can see, the gentleman in the bottom left, after 3 months, had quite a big reversal. And the gentleman in the top right had a complete reversal of his vitiligo after 1 year of using X39. Bell's palsy also, after 3 months, you can see that we have the patch has been removed. That spasm to the face has also disappeared. Psoriasis, which is a very painful and itchy condition, one that is quite hard to get rid of. Here we have before the X39 and after 10 days, incredible results. This lady here, her finger, she cut it, this was what, in July? So she had just come from our convention and she cut her finger, and every day on our group, she was actually just sharing the healing. 20 days, she cut it pretty badly. By the time she decided to actually go to the doctor, they said, well, it's already healed by itself on day 2. And that's the incredible result. No stitches, no nothing, no medical intervention, just purely keeping it clean and using her patches. Incredible. Wound healing also on the side of the face, 21 days later, completely healed. This next slide is one of my absolute favorites. And the reason it's my favorite is because this gentleman had quite a big wound on the one side of his face, but he's using 3 X39s at the same time. What's incredible here is not so much the healing. Yes, it healed fantastically. And I mean, we all know as you get older, it takes a lot longer for these kind of things to heal. But isn't his skin amazing? His skin is absolutely incredible. He didn't use the patch for his skin. He used the patch because he was trying to heal his wound. His skin is absolutely incredible. Here we have another wound, also 2 weeks, completely healed. Over here, poor circulation, day 1 and day 5 of poor circulation. As you can see that those veins have also disappeared or reversed. Again, I've had results with this within my own network of family and friends. It's just incredible to see those veins disappearing before your eyes. Um, and then this is also another one of my favorite slides, because this is a live blood analysis. So what was done is they took blood from someone, they put it through a slide, and this is how the cells looked before X39. And this is what they looked like 10 minutes after wearing the X39. They are oxygenated, free flowing, able to move around. Absolutely incredible. Water retention, edema. Also, when you have this, it can continue to recur. And you can see day one, this lady used to come home every day, put her feet up on the couch, hoping to relieve this water retention and pain. And then just 3 weeks on the X39. How amazing is that? Hair loss. So, I mean, I spoke about hair and I was so excited earlier today. But when I saw the slide in the presentation that I went to, I thought there's nothing. Nothing's going to make your hair grow back. Now it's a load of rubbish. And I believed everything because it saved my husband, and amazing, I've got my smell back. But at this point, I thought, nah. I must tell you, I got back to the hotel. I took a photo of my husband's head, and his hair has grown back in its natural color. And not only myself, but I have people on this call whose family members' hair has also grown back. So absolutely, absolutely incredible to just see the results, because we don't set out using the patches, well, most of us, for hair loss. We set out using it for other health issues. And if this is side effect, take it. Absolutely incredible. So hair loss often happens with hormone changes. In women, it's quite debilitating. And you can see here that within 3 months of using X39, the hair fall has significantly decreased. And women who do have hair fall do struggle. I've met quite a few. And so it's nice to be able to know. Actually, the hairdresser said to me today, she's like, Allison, you've got all these new hairs. I'm like, yeah, and it's a good thing, isn't it? So yeah, very exciting. Okay, this is the testimonies page. It's a Telegram group. And the reason I like this group, if you want, you can take a photo, or you can reach out to the person who invited you, or whoever sent you the invite. There should be a phone number on there. You can reach out to them and they will share this with you, because on here you can go and search anything. I mean, these are headings you can see. We've got numbers, a lot of headings. There's over 1,000 testimonies in 160 categories for pain, cancer, Crohn's disease, blood pressure. We've only highlighted some of them, right? Tinnitus, the ringing in the ears, migraine, gout, asthma, epilepsy, fibromyalgia, MS, diabetes. Now, again, I'm going to talk about the diabetes because there's a number of us who've had family members who have diabetes and are starting to reverse the effects of that. Sugar starting to stabilize. Yeah, just absolutely incredible to see wound healing in the lower limbs, which is normally an issue with diabetes, just happening on its own. Parkinson's, neuropathy, autism, Alzheimer's, hot flushes. Guys, I was perimenopausal when I started using these patches, and I had left my hormones here in Zambia. I started using the patches. I have not used a hormone since. I do not have hot flushes. I do not feel foggy-minded. I don't feel any of the stuff I was feeling before. And guess what? I sleep 7 hours solid. I go to bed, I close my eyes, I wake up 7 hours later, and I feel like I have rested without turning because the hip is sore and the other hip is sore and whatever the point is. So actually quite exciting. Stroke, gallstones. And then let's just go back to the 2004 Olympics in Athens. Some of you may know or remember that the US Olympic team under Michael Phelps, the first time, won a whole load of gold medals. They shot a whole load of records out of the pool, and their medals were actually put on hold. It was a little bit of a story. Their medals were put on hold, and the reason they were put on hold is because as they emerged from the water, these patches were spotted on them. They were sent to UCLA for testing at the microanalytical lab, and they came back, and this is how today we have the letter on thisisit.info.com from the US Anti-Doping Agency declaring these patches safe for competitive sport because nothing is entering the body. There are no chemicals entering the body. Serena Williams, when she won Wimbledon, was also wearing the Energy Enhancer patch. David Beckham, before he even had tattoos. And Lorenzo Savadori, currently a superbike champion, uses it in the middle of his forehead so he can focus because he's riding at 300 kilometers per hour. Again, back to that website I was telling you about, thisisit.info.com. It's a wonderful place to go and find information about the patches, patents, testimonies, doctors' reviews, US Anti-Doping Agency letters, all that kind of stuff. So I'm just quickly going to go through all the patches with you. So X39 is the foundation patch. If you use nothing else, use the X39. This is the patch that will reactivate dormant stem cells so that they can regenerate organs and tissues in the body. Now, the reason Aeon has come here is because these two patches together are known as the dynamic duo. If we can sort out inflammation, I'm sorry, guys, sort out inflammation while also reactivating stem cells, we can have some amazing responses in the body. Now, Aeon is also known as the happy patch, reducing inflammation, whether it's in the body or the brain, supports stress response, and reduces adrenal fatigue. So absolutely incredible combination, but if you use nothing else, make sure it's X39. Okay, X49 is the performance patch. Sorry, give me a minute, guys. Okie dokie. Talking too much. Improves muscle mass, improves bone density, increases bone density, and improved heart health. So absolutely incredible patch, and X39 and X49 go very well together. Icewave, one of my favorites, instant pain relief, and it eases tension, headaches, no drugs, no side effects, and like I said, you don't have to wait for a tablet to start working. You can simply go and put it where there's pain. Glutathione, one of my favorites. I'm actually wearing one today. I don't know if you can see, but I have one on. So this one boosts your immunity. It's a powerful antioxidant and eliminates heavy metals. So if you have been around people who are sick, use this. If you are feeling sick, use the glutathione. So it was a few weeks ago, I was feeling nauseous. I woke up, I was feeling nauseous. I didn't know what was going on. I simply stuck an X39 by my belly button and the nausea disappeared. So absolutely fantastic for your immunity. Carnosine is the clarity patch. It helps with improved brain function, increases focus and alertness, improves thyroid function. Silent Nights is known as the sleep patch. It induces melatonin, increases sleep duration, and improves deeper sleep. Energy Enhancer was the first patch to come to market. That was the one on the Olympic swimming team, and it is known to increase vital energy, burns fat for energy, and unblocks negative energy. This is why it is so loved by some of the sports people, because it's converting that fat into energy as they are exercising. SP6 is the cravings patch. It regulates your appetite. Cravings disappear. I know for myself that sweet cravings have disappeared. I have someone else on this call, also sweet cravings have disappeared. It's absolutely incredible to help you with your appetite, you know, in terms of not longing for something, and it improves your liver function. Alavida, remember I told you you can come to my house in the evening and you're going to see this patch on my head? Well, that is the Alavida patch. That is the beauty patch, but it also helps with sleep. So I use that one. I don't use the sleep patch. It is absolutely incredible. It's the collagen patch, and its vibe gives you vibrant and firmer skin, reduces wrinkles, and stimulates the pineal gland. So very quickly, I'm going to go through prices, then I'm going to take questions. So product pricing, just a bit of perspective for anyone who's ever looked at stem cell injections, because it's a buzzword for everything today. Stem cells help with everything, healthy stem cells, that is. And those will cost you around $10,000 with only a 50% chance they'll work. With the patches, a fraction of the cost. You can have these on every day, constantly, elevating that peptide and reactivating those dormant stem cells. So product prices, I must tell you, and I'm going to say this once and maybe twice, is that these prices are not including VAT and delivery within South Africa, because this is South Africa we're talking about. If you're in Canada, you will get exactly the same price. It is not including VAT and delivery. Those will be added according to your VAT in the country. If you're in the UK, same story applies. You will be getting the VAT and delivery that is applicable in your country. So each sleeve contains 30 patches. So with X39, that is a month's supply. If you went to whoever invited you today and said, I'd like to just buy these as a retail customer for cash, you will be charged $149.95 plus VAT and delivery applicable for the country, for the X39 or 49, and for any of the other patches, $79.95. What's exciting though is that if you simply go and plug your details in and open your own account so you can order your own patches when you see fit, if you see fit, you will be able to access those patches at a wholesale price of $99.95, which is 66% of the price basically. And the other patches anywhere from $49 to $69.95. Now, I must mention that Lifewave offers a 30-day money-back guarantee. And that's quite incredible because if for some reason you feel like, no, it's not working, although at 30 days, I don't think it's good enough to actually decide whether it is working or not, but they do offer a 30-day money back guarantee and they do honor it. And that just is testament to the fact that they believe in their product and they know that their product is absolutely amazing. So the other way to access these patches, which is slightly cheaper for you, and also if you're committing to the 3 months, which we recommend should be done, this then allows you to start accessing prices cheaper. So if you took a core package, you would get 3 of these sleeves of X39 or 49, whichever ones you want, or 2 of one and 1 of the other. But you could also swap one of those 3 for any 2 of the supplementary patches. So you could have 2 X39s and 2 Aeons for the price of $295 plus VAT and delivery. If you wanted an advanced package, you could go and say, I want 6 X39s because that's what it allows, or 49s, or you could swap out any one sleeve for 2 of the supplementary. So let's say you wanted to do 4 months of X39 and you would then have 4 sleeves of Aeon because you swapped out 2 for 4. Fantastic, you've got 4 months of both. Or if you have a big family, or you're like me and you're just so excited to share with everyone, you can go and get the premium pack, which allows you 20 sleeves of X39, or you can swap out as many as you want for whatever you want. So I started on the core because I was in a desperate situation. And then I upgraded to the advanced, and then I very quickly upgraded to the premium because I was sharing with everyone, and I knew that this was something that had changed for me, changed my life. So what's next for you? Well, healing isn't just physical, it's mental, emotional, and even spiritual. Light and energy can help create balance across all areas. So what's next for you? You can be a retail customer, as I said, accessing those retail prices. You can be a preferred customer where you purchase the product at wholesale price, or you can be a brand partner and you can share with everyone because you're so excited. But you can be any of those and there are no obligations to do anything. So with that in mind, can I unmute everyone? And if you have a question, feel free to ask. Give me a second. Now I have to get out of this. I thought I was quite good at technology, but I realized that sometimes not so sharp. Okay, so there we go. Let me unmute everyone. Here we go. Okay, let's see if I can unmute. Or maybe you can all unmute yourself if anyone's got a question. I'm just going to stop the recording because I don't want any of the questions there. Okay.